Hey y'all, welcome back to City Country Barbecue. We have made it through the first week of 2023. It's been pretty good. It's going to be a great year, but we're going to start off with this 11-pound prime brisket, beautiful marbling, beautiful fat. Some of this is going to have to come off though. We are doing just a couple seasonings. We have the Butcher's Block steak seasoning just for some extra flavor on top, but we're going more like a Texas style, doing coarse ground black pepper, coarse ground salt, but the secret ingredient, we're going to inject it with Wagyu tallow. We're going to put a lot of this into this for better fat content and juiciness and the flavor of it once it's done. So all briskets come in all different sizes from, 9 pounds, 20 pounds. There's a whole bunch in the middle. We are starting today with an 11-pound brisket. See all this nice, beautiful fat? You want to take some of this off where you can just see the skin on the point, leave some of the fat cap on the flat. Seasonings do not penetrate into fat as it cooks. So we're going to take off the, I forget what this flappy piece is called, but we're taking it off. Before, during, or after the trimming of the fat, you want to make sure the brisket has some kind of uniform shape. There's this real thin little skinny piece here on the end. Don't know what that piece is called, but it's coming off. You are taking off all that fat. Don't just throw it away. You can take all of this yummy fat and then render it down in an oven and then make your own tallow. Reuse the bucket. Make this into melted gold into this. But at least while you're doing this, if you got dogs, show them some love. We all love our dogs here. One going to Big Boy Bang, Old Man Triton, Crazy Basie, and Cookie Monster. I think they approve. Now during the process, I like my brisket to at least have some kind of cool shape, even shape, so that there's no dangly bits, crunchy bits, hard bits, overcooked pieces on the end. So I'm gonna trim some of those off. You take all your fat trimmings, you throw them in a bowl, and use these things for later. The thing you have to do is take your tallow. It's kind of like baking grease if you've never heard of the word tallow before. If you save the drippings from the fat, it turns into this. It's awesome stuff to cook with. So you take your tallow, throw it in the microwave. If you have your tallow in the microwave so it's nice and melted, it will get warm. I want it to cool down some. So now that it's a nice flowy liquid, let's let it cool so it doesn't start to cook the meat. Now that the tallow has cooled down to room temperature, we're going to take our handy dandy meat injector. Gonna soak some of this bad boy up and just fill this thing up as much as possible. This is a good sized piece of meat. I want to put this in here about every half inch or so. You can come in from the top, but then you can't see all the grains under it. You don't really know where all that fat's going. So you can do like that. You can fill it up as you go. It's gonna squirt out, put out some paper. Or you can come in from the side. You could go into the side, you can fill it, go all the way in. Whoop, oh, we sprung a leak from a previous hole, and just fill that bad boy up all the way across. Go all the way in one hole, and you're less likely to have it leak out if you do it across the side as opposed to from the top. You will see this thing start to fill up. Check out all the bubbling as the fat's moving in every little crevice it can. It's getting all the way through that thing. Now the point is a lot fattier cut of meat. Doesn't need as much, but this is not for fat content for me right now. This is for the flavor. I like the flavor of Wagyu beef. I cannot afford Wagyu beef. I make my own redneck Wagyu beef. Now, all that extra fat that is going to squirt out, it's gonna come out a little bit. Use that as your binder for all your seasonings. Once the meat's all rubbed down with all that delicious fat, you take your favorite seasonings you want to. I'm using the Butcher's Block steak seasoning just as a flavor topper. I'm gonna use a lot of salt, a lot of pepper. This is a big piece of meat. It can take a lot of flavor. Pack this bad boy in here. All that nice fat that kind of squeezed out a little bit, gonna help that bond. Then you take that coarse ground black pepper, because we are going Texas style. You need coarse ground black pepper, coarse ground salt, a pretty good amount of it. And because this is a large piece of beef, coarse ground salt, something kind of thick, something kind of heavier on it, it's gonna help it be crispier, crunchier, nice bark when it's cooked. Now it's time for the smoker. All right, y'all, so the brisket has been seasoned up and sitting on the counter for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Time to go on the smoker at 205 degrees. It's gonna be going all night long. It's currently 8:30 at night. This is an 11-pound brisket. This will be ready by roughly 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. At 1:55, I'm gonna wrap it and then put it back on so it doesn't get overly smoked. And I'll see y'all in the morning. All right, y'all, and we are back. It is now the next day. This has been going for 20 hours as of right now. It was 8 o'clock last night, 4 o'clock this afternoon. Time to take this bad boy off. It has finally reached 195 degrees internal temperature. Take out your probe. Now you do not want to just take this in, chop it up, and serve it. You want to let it rest. What I do, so now because it's winter, I'm gonna use a pool towel. You want to grab your brisket in the paper, pull it off, and wrap the whole thing in your towel. Don't use your wife's nice towels. She will be pissed. But get your brisket all wrapped up. Throw it in your favorite barbecue cooler. This is not my great cooler. This is my barbecue cooler. Close it up, seal it up, let it sit for 1 to 2 hours, then we slice. All right, the moment everyone's been waiting for, especially me. So the 11-pound brisket set at 205, cooked for 21 hours overall time to hit that beautiful, perfect internal 205 degrees. So there are many ways to slice up a brisket. I am not a trained chef. I'm not a professional. I'm just your everyday backyard barbecue guy. So you can just slice the point against the grain, slice the flat against the grain, or say someone around you doesn't like the fat, so you actually can remove this top layer, slice off the top of the point, so the crown, and then slice that separately if you wish. I like the fat, I'm gonna keep it that way. I know because I've done a ton of these. So on the flat, all the grain on the flat's going this way. So I wanna cut this against the grain so it is as tender as possible. As we cut into this, oh, it's just gliding like butter. No resistance, nice and soft. Cut the meat to your thickness, however you like it. I'm gonna leave mine around a 1/2 inch thick a piece. Let's separate this guy. Get a cross section. Check out all that juice. Oh man, that's all that Wagyu tallow. It has soaked all the way through, penetrated all the way through the meat. Beautiful smoke ring on here, y'all. Nice little smoke ring, nice little crust. Man, talk about some succulent barbecue. It's soft, juicy, it's tender. Perfect amount of flavor for me. If you want to do a brisket, super easy. 200 to 225 degrees, all the way up to 155 degrees internal temperature. Wrap it up, throw it back on all the way to 195 degrees. Pull it off, wrap it up in a towel, and then put it in a cooler for an hour or two. Spice it up and enjoy. Once again, from City Country Barbecue, from my family to yours, y'all enjoy, and remember, have fun. And don't forget, like, comment, share, and subscribe.